The American jazz pianist Herbie Hancock said, "The cool thing is that jazz is really a wonderful example of the great characteristics of Buddhism and great characteristics of the human spirit. Because in jazz we share, we listen to each other, we respect each other. We are creating in the moment. At our best, we're non-judgmental." I invite you to practice today from a place of non-judgment. The first few times I went to a public yoga class, I was extremely judgmental on myself. I kept on looking at everyone else doing these poses so much better than I was. And I heard the teacher saying, you're here at the mat, practice without judgment. And I thought, yeah, easier said than done. But as I began to practice more and then ultimately teach yoga, that could not be more true. We're here at the mat, we're here together. Let's practice without any judgment and just try your best. Come onto the front of the mat, feet hip distance apart. Hands on hips, step your right foot straight back behind you, bend that left knee. Now bring the right hip forward. Right heel can stay down with the toes out or right heel lifted. See what feels best. Inhale, arms up. Pause here. Maybe today you want to deepen the lunge. Maybe straighten the back leg. Draw your belly in, draw your rib cage in. Remember to breathe and soften. Exhale, lower your arms and reach your hands behind your back. Stretch your hands back. Bring your shoulder blades together. Let your chest open wide. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Everybody looks a little different in every pose. We're all built a little differently, and that's okay. On your next exhale, bow to the inside of the left knee, letting your hands come up. Slowly rise back up and reach your arms up. Exhale, lower both hands to the mat on either side of the left foot. And now step the right foot back a little further. Gently let the hips melt towards the mat. Keep that right knee lifted for now. And now gently lower that right knee to the mat and invite the hips forward, just softly, without forcing. And now lift the right knee up and step the right foot forward beside the left. Exhaling, fold. Slowly inhale as you rise up to standing, arms up. Exhale, palms together. And lower your hands. Feet hip distance apart. Now step your left foot back behind you. Hands on hips, bend that right knee. Bring the left hip forward. Inhale, arms up. Left heel can be down with the toes out or lifted. See what feels best on your body. Strong core. Draw your rib cage and belly in. Maybe deepen the lunge. Slowly lower your arms and reach your hands behind your back and stretch your hands back, letting your chest open wide, and breathe here. On your next exhale, bow to the inside of your right knee. Let your hands come up. Inhale, come on up, and reach your arms up. Exhale, lower both hands to the mat on either side of your right foot. And now step your left foot back a little further. Keeping the left knee off the mat, invite your hips to sink a bit lower. And now lower that left knee to the mat and gently send the hips forward. It's just a soft encouragement. And now tuck the left toes, lift that knee up, and step the left foot forward beside the right. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up over your head. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. Inhaling, arms up. Soft knees. As you exhale, fold. Inhaling, come halfway up in Ardha Uttanasana. Nice straight spine, strong core. Exhale, fold. Place both hands on the mat. Spread your fingers wide and step back to plank pose. Knees can be off or on the mat. Just make sure your upper back is nice and straight, that it's not rounded. Strong core. Take an exhale to lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Don't worry about what your down dog looks like. Just make sure you take the weight out of your wrists, put more weight into your fingertips and knuckles. Lifting your hips up and back. If you want more details, check out my YouTube video, the tutorial on downward facing dog. Knees can be bent or play with straightening one knee and then the other. But don't worry about it if your knees are always bent here. And for some people, the heels are always lifted off the mat. Not everybody can get their heels comfortably to the mat. As you exhale, come forward to plank pose. Breathe here. Keep your elbows close to your rib cage and slowly lower down to the mat. Place the tops of the feet on the mat. Lift your hands up off the mat just an inch or so. Press your belly into the mat and lift your chest forward and up. Shoulders back. Tops of the feet stay on the mat. And now let your hands rest. Slowly come down, tuck your toes, pressing your hands into the mat under each shoulder. Lift up through plank pose and hips up and back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet together and lift your right leg up in the air behind you. Bend that right knee and stack the right hip over the left. And now bring that right knee forward and touch the right elbow with the knee. Lift that leg back up in the air behind you. Bending the right knee, step that foot forward and place it on the mat between your hands. Looking straight ahead. Inhale your arms up. Left hip forward. Play with deepening the lunge. Exhale, lower both hands to the mat and step back to plank pose. Elbows close to your rib cage. Slowly lower down to the mat. Tops of the feet come on the mat. Press your belly into the mat to lift your chest forward and up. Shoulders, elbows back. The tops of the feet stay on the mat. Slowly lower down. Tuck your toes. Press your hands into the mat and lift up and back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk your feet together and lift the left leg up in the air behind you. Bend that left knee and stack that left hip over the right. Now bring that left knee forward and touch the left elbow. Left leg back up in the air behind you. Bend that left knee and step it forward. Place the mat between your hands. Place your foot between your hands. Inhale, arms up. No judgment on getting my cues wrong. This is a practice without judgment. Coming into warrior one, maybe deepen the lunge here. Maybe straighten the back leg. Exhale, lower both hands to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Breathe. Pause. Engage your core. Exhaling, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Lengthen your spine. Take the weight out of your wrists. Bend your knees and walk your feet forward to your hands. Breathe here. Fold. Inhale, slowly rise to standing, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. Feet hip distance apart. Step your right foot back behind you. Bring your palms to your heart center and bend your left knee. Bring that right hip forward. Focus your gaze on the floor in front of you, maybe 8 or 10 feet in front. Put all the weight into your left foot. Bring your right toes forward, resting on the mat behind you. Left leg appears straight, but there's a slight bend in that left knee. Strong core, strong spine. Lift that right foot up and flex that foot. Keep a straight line between your shoulders, hips, and right foot. When you're ready, hinge at the left hip and reach forward with your torso as your right leg comes up behind you. In Virabhadrasana 3. No judgment wherever you are in the pose. You might be just standing, trying to keep that right foot lifted. Just practice. Do your best. One more breath. Come on back up and lower that foot. Release your hands, feet hip distance apart. And now step your left foot back. Hands on hips, bend the right knee, bring the left hip forward. Palms together at your heart center. Focus your gaze again. When you're ready, put all the weight into your right foot and just come to a standing position with the toes of the left foot resting gently behind you. Refocus. Lift the left toes up and flex that foot. Maybe here you just, on this side, you stay here, tapping the toes as you need it. Or keep a straight line between your left shoulder, hip, and heel. Bend at the right hip as you come forward into Warrior 3. Any version that's right for you today. If you come out of the pose, no judgment, just try again. One more breath. Slowly come on back up. Lower that foot. Release your hands. Nice long deep inhale, arms up. Long slow exhale to fold. Breathe here. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to standing, arms up over your head. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.